Hello, beautiful friends. I feel so good today. I don't know if it's just about filming this video or something else. I don't know. I am so glad we waited this long for this video because now it is much more valuable and practical. There's also going to be a PDF that you can download from the description box down below. You can use your own journal too to answer the questions I'm going to ask you. And I don't have anything to say, so let's just get into it. I think it's better to start from here. About 3 weeks ago, I got this amazing gift from 𝒔𝒐𝒏𝒕, which was their Elevate Your Future program. You guessed it, I got super happy, emotional, and yeah, that doesn't matter, but as you've guessed by the title of it, it's life-changing. And I've had this idea that when I was working on my self-care and self-love routines and activities, I didn't think about boundaries. And what made me think about them was the fact that we do self-care routines and activities, and then we go outside, we interact with other people. For example, if you're living with your parents or with your family, with your partner, and then something happens and you start, for example, people-pleasing, and then you get frustrated and then you need more self-care. So when I was thinking about self-care and self-love, I needed something much more powerful. And this is how universe works. In the second week of that program, which was the self-beliefs week, we worked on some boundaries. We did an exercise that helped us build boundaries and solid self-love routines. Like solid. One thing I should say before jumping into them is that we did so many exercises on our belief system. So yeah, I just wanted to say that if you felt like you need more help in that, definitely check this program or this self-love course from Rochelle. And also bear in mind, this is not the exact system that we use in that program, because obviously I cannot share it here, but it's kind of the same. So, wow, I don't know what was that. So, open up your journal, please, or the PDF that you've just downloaded from the description box down below. In the first part, we want to explore and see what beliefs we have about ourselves. What story do we tell about ourselves to everyone else and ourselves? These are also your trigger signs. You have a space to write your triggers. So triggers are the things that make you feel bad about yourself or talk bad to yourself. And they could be anything. It could be a word, it could be a phrase, it could be a thing that reminds you of something, or it could be a person. So really get deep into that and make a list out of it. And I also recommend pausing the video and writing them down. And I will link a background music that I used when I was writing these lists. So yeah, I will link it somewhere up here and you can use it. How do you feel? What would you do if those things happen to you right now? If one of them happened, what would be your normal reaction to it? For example, my reaction to the phrase "I am warning you" would be a burst of anger and then slapping someone in their face. Well, that was my reaction and it's not anymore. Fingers crossed. So take the time to write every reaction you have to those trigger signs you wrote in the previous part and think about the experiences you had before. How did you react to those occasions and trigger signs in the past? These are called your behaviors. And I want to mention that these triggers can be anything and the behaviors can be anything. For example, being in the victim story, being the victim and showing up to a group of friends with this energy to grab their attention and receive their energy and their support and kind of feeling like they're saving you and then feeling good. So you want to be honest and clear with yourself. And I just want you to remember that you're not alone. Like the example that I just mentioned was literally me a couple of years ago. So the fact that I could get out of that story means that you can too, and we're all here for you. So please don't feel alone and embarrassed of those things, and just be honest. Write them down on the paper. No one's gonna read them except you, so really get everything down on the paper. Okay, I'm getting emotional about... Okay, the next step is to identify the things that keep you away from living without those beliefs and behaviors. What is it that holds you back? Is it someone special? Is it an environment? Is it even real and physical, or it's mental? Journal on this as well and ask yourself, how can you pick up this block and then put it away? The next step is to ask yourself, are you the one responsible for changing these behaviors? Are you the one responsible for changing this narrative? This is so powerful and empowering. So I really recommend journaling in this as long as you need, and imagine your life without these beliefs and these blocks, and this is your motivation and the reason and your why behind doing all this work. In the last part, we think about how can we change this narrative? How can everything change? And we set boundaries for ourselves. We simply show love and take care of ourselves. This is how you have to go back to those trigger signs and your reactions, and then think about how you can change your reaction to those trigger signs and to those beliefs. And then ask yourself, how can you not experience those triggers at all? For example, for the I warn you phrase, I ask close friends and family to not use that phrase on any occasion. And then I had this boundary for myself. Anytime I heard that phrase, my reaction would be counting to 10 and then breathing like a square. I don't know what's the breathing name, but it's just, inhaling for 5, holding for 3, exhaling for 5, and holding it for 3 again. Or another boundary for me was celebrating my small wins and getting used to them. These boundaries could be anything. Again, it could be affirming some phrases, like when someone is doubting you, or you are doubting yourself. Instantly go to your journal and then affirm some phrases that you like, or the new story that you're telling yourself about yourself. how do you feel? When I did this exercise, I felt this weight off my shoulder, but I realized I need to put more work into this. I need to put more work on my self-care. And it's not just the long reading time. No shame to that. I love my reading time, but I needed something to empower myself with. Something that I could count on it and rely on it and have it with myself everywhere I go. So boundaries for me, and I think boundaries in general, are meant to be our guidelines through tough times and our everyday life. For example, scrolling less or with more intention. And they could be anything, as I mentioned. So yeah, I don't know why I get so emotional these days. Like, since starting this program, I'm just super emotional. But I think it's normal because the thing that we do is just real shit, and it requires so much energy and emotion, but it feels so good. But let me tell you, I didn't feel good at the first 2 days. I felt rubbish. But now I feel more relieved and free and super emotional. But you know what? I love it. I love this stuff. So, okay, I need to stop. So I need to stop rambling and let you go sit with yourself and your journal and reflect on what you wrote. So take care, my loves. Bye.